Dondreá Brown. Count the cost. Let's go.
The Count the Cost podcast is sponsored by Young Money Finance. That's a local nonprofit in Grand Rapids, Michigan, providing youth financial literacy. If you're interested in learning more about them, go to www.ymfgr.org. Again, www.ymfgr.org. Hey, what's up, y'all? We are back on the Count the Cost podcast. My name is Dondreá Brown. I am beyond excited to not just continue the platform of providing podcasting, but also like the guests that we bring in, because their stories are amazing. They're doing amazing things in the community. They also have great visions, dreams, and aspirations, not just for themselves, but also for a community and the work that they do. So with that being said, before I introduce our guests, I want y'all to make sure that y'all subscribe to our podcast on YouTube and all our other platforms, and share. It's going to be important that you share this information, share this knowledge with people, because we're about to drop some gems today. And speaking of gems, I'm going to allow her to introduce herself. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes. My name is Samika Douglas, and I am a community ambassador here in the city of Grand Rapids.
So thank you for coming on, Samika. Me and Samika, we have crossed paths like for the last 5-6 years. I truly enjoy the impact that she makes in community. She has always been willing to support us. But the thing about today is it's not about me, right? It's about her story, her life, her aspirations, and things like that. So I'll start with one important topic. What got you into the work that you're in? First, tell us what work you're in, and then what got you into that type of work.
So I have many hats in the community, so I just say I'm all things community. One of the hats that I got in the community is I am a community organizer. I'm also a community outreach specialist, youth advocate, as well as director of advocacy. So as you can see, it all kind of ties together. It's all about advocating for our community and changing things that's affecting us.
That's right. So as you wear those many hats, like, did something inspire you? Did you grow up wanting to do this work? Tell us a little bit about that. Like, what put you in this position? How did you get here?
Ooh, baby, that's a whole nother segment. But so I'm an 80s baby, right?
Okay.
Um,
Shout out to 80s babies.
okay.
You know, I'm
So
2000, but
oh, whoa.
no.
Whoa.
Maybe.
So being an 80s baby, I grew up in the crack epidemic. Both of my parents were drug addicts. My father all the way up until he passed 2 years ago.
Yeah.
My mom, she's been clean now for about 24 years. But having that lived experience of just not having all different types of things. So I wanted to be the person that I didn't have in all aspects, whether it was something dealing with housing, transportation, food. So I advocate literally around all of those things that affect us daily because I have that lived experience. I didn't have to stand in line at Steel Case getting Santa Claus girl, toys for Santa Claus girls. I didn't had to go to food pantries. I didn't had to ride the city bus. I didn't been on welfare. I didn't been on Section 8. So I have these lived experiences, but it wasn't the greatest experience because I didn't have that advocate there for me, actually helping me along the way. So I wanted to be that person that I didn't have.
Wow. So, one, thank you for sharing this story, because when individuals are willing to trust this platform and share their story, we never know how it impacts others. So, if you don't mind digging a little bit deeper, what gave you the resiliency to continue to progress through these challenges?
My faith in God. Um, it's a journey that I walk with God with alone. My walk is not your walk. It's not no one else's walk. So we have to find that walk ourselves with God. And I just think different. I don't think like, I'm not cookie cutter at all.
Yeah. So
At
you
all.
said something when the camera was off. You said never to. What was that you said?
Often imitated, never duplicated. I'm one of a kind, baby. And I tell people that because I'm also a IUD baby. IUD is a birth control, right? And so I know I wasn't playing, but God had something better in store for me. So God chose me. My parents probably didn't choose me. Life didn't choose me, but God
God
chose
did.
me.
Oh, my
Okay,
bad. I
Look.
thought we was about to start rapping. Okay, just tell them
So
they didn't believe in us,
right.
but God did.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And like Kendrick Lamar said, they not like us.
Oh,
So
okay.
we
So
have to be like that within ourselves wherever we go and whatever we do. We have to understand that we are one of a kind.
yeah,
But God chose us to walk this walk and to do what we're doing.
facts. So speaking of doing what we're doing, you have a family.
Yes.
Tell me about your family, like the family dynamic. I was just at a presentation yesterday, and they talked about the importance of family structure, family dynamic, and they say we don't have enough conversations about the impact of family and embedding that family structure. So tell me a little bit about family. What is family for you?
Family is everything to me. My brother tell me all the time that I'm the link that actually keep our family together. Because as I stated earlier, we went through a lot of trials and tribulations. My family at one point was broken because I also went to the foster care system, and so it's five of us. I have five siblings. It was two girls and three boys, and we were all separated.
You the
Nobody.
oldest? You the
I'm
oldest?
the
Or-
third oldest.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, shout out to the number three.
Okay.
Three is my number. Also, I'm any way you look at it, I'm the third. I'm in the middle. Birthday wise, my birthday the third birthday of the year. I'm born in the third month. My numbers of my birthday is 321, so 21 is three. So and then three, two,
Okay.
one, boom.
Okay. Hey. So you making those connections.
Right.
So you talked about your younger siblings. You're kind of like middle.
I'm middle.
You're middle. You've been the glue. Um, like how do you engage with your family now that you are adults and y'all have gone through some of those challenges?
Um, Now I have actually learned boundaries within the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So some of them not too happy with me
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I had to learn those boundaries though in this work that I do as well. You have to have those boundaries, um, because if you don't, you can't pour from an empty cup, right?
That's true.
So if I continue to pour into others,
Mm-hmm.
but nothing is getting poured back into me, the well runs dry.
Yeah.
So what I end up doing this last 2 years is setting boundaries for my family. I love them to death, but I
Yeah.
had to set boundaries for those siblings of mine because even though I am the middle child, I'm also, the oldest girl. So you know how they say the oldest girl is the spokesperson for the family.
Facts.
So
Yeah.
everybody comes to me. I'm the
Yeah.
one. I'm the one on everybody emergency contact. I'm the beneficiary for everybody. I'm the one. So I had to set those boundaries because I also seen myself being pulled away from my family that I was creating. So I have two children, four bonus children. Been married now for 6 years, and a lot of people don't even know I'm married. A lot of people don't even know that I have these children because
Right.
I don't I bring them about, but I don't keep them in the forefront like that because I don't want to mix business and pleasure too much, right?
Okay.
And my family is everything, and I go to war for my family, especially my babies. Like
That's real.
my daughter is 23 and my son is 19, and I like I say I got the four bonus children as well, and they know I
Oh, you
walk
do.
across quicksand for them.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Okay. Don't
clock
sink.
that T.
So I love how you talked about boundaries because I think that is a reoccurring theme in many givers' lives. Many people who are the glue, many people who have gone through things with family as you get older is trying to build that identity within self, but also set these boundaries because, like you said, it's hard to pour from an empty cup.
Right.
I went to foster care too, and I kind of felt it was kind of like my indirect mission to make sure the family was good. So I started to, address a lot of the challenges that our family's going through with money, student loan money. That's how I got into a lot of debt, because I would just get that money and be like, all right, let me just pay for everybody's problems,
Right.
hoping that will fix everything. And now as I'm getting older and starting to think about like, where is my money going?
That's
Right?
it.
I'm like, I have to set boundaries from where it used to go so that I can start to put money into my kids' future, which is a whole different thing. But as we start to talk about money, one of the hats that you wear is about, providing advocacy, support, more importantly for child support. Can you talk a little bit about, the work that you're doing and how it's helping people?
Yes. So, as I stated, I am the director of advocacy at Project Green, um, Grassroots Economic Empowerment Network. Project Green has a focus on turning everyday people into money heroes.
Okay.
And we
Money
do
heroes.
okay. And we do that by providing you with tools and support and education. I am big on education, so that's one reason too why I'm over here with Project Green, because I also, if your mission and vision has to line up with my mission and vision,
Right.
and I do have my own mission and vision statement. I think everybody should actually get
Okay.
one of those
You
for
want to tell
themselves.
us? You want to spill
Yeah.
it?
So my mission is to make sure that everyone has equal opportunity, regardless of who you are and where you come from, all walks of life. And that's why I'm on the scale everywhere, with, like I say, I'm a youth advocate, but I also advocate on the back end for parents as well. Back to Project Green, even with the child support initiative. So here in the state of Michigan, they have been having a policy around child support
Yeah.
for 43 years. As long as I've been here. I was born in 82. This policy been around since 82. But no one knew of it. A lot of individuals still don't know of it. I could go out right now and I could meet literally 5 people back to back who has never heard of the policy, where if they pay their child support on time, it could be reported to the credit bureaus. However, in the policy, it states if you miss a payment or you don't pay on time,
Right.
guess what they gonna do?
It's gonna
Report
hit
it to
that.
the credit bureau.
Right.
So why won't you report the positive, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
another way to keep us down. Like I tell individuals all the time, the system is not broken. It wasn't made for us, right? So
Yeah.
to get around that, we have to play the game like
Right.
they play the game. All you gotta do is learn the rules to the game. Now we know the rules. So guess what? For us, it's to go out and to educate the community. Because even the word says that our people perish because of lack of knowledge. Right? So that's why we perishing.
Yeah.
Once we, because what the crazy saying is, if you know better, you do better.
You do better. Yeah.
Okay then. So guess what? So now that you know better, guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna do better. So I'm out here educating our community, explaining to them what it is. And we also is right now we're about to start a new pilot where we're going to get 50 individuals who's paying their child support on time, and we're going to walk with them to help them analyze and understand what credit is, how to utilize that credit once it does go up, not just go out and get a new car because now they got the credit for it, but how to maintain it and sustain it, because a lot of time we talk about generational wealth, but we're not educating one another on generational wealth where we can sustain it. Now, grandma done left us this house. We done went and sold it because we need some money, or we can't afford the taxes or whatever the case may be. So you come to us at Project Green and we're going to help you. We're going to help educate you on what it is to sustain that financial legacy for your family.
So child support is a huge topic. I was just doing a finances and fatherhood workshop a couple days ago with fathers in the room, and the first thing I told them was like, I'm coming in here to talk about many different barriers, and I know a lot of y'all are thinking about child support off the bat.
Right.
Right. I'm like, I don't have enough time to go into child support directly, but a lot of the things that I'm teaching today will impact child support. Right. And as a person or a dad that used to pay child support and no longer pays it, like, we can argue the purpose and all that stuff of child support, and I don't want to do that. But we know it can be create. It's a tool, right? It's a system. It can be used for good or bad, right? Depending on family structure, co-parenting, emotional stability, like all those different factors. But I think the other important piece is, as we have this overarching theme of like family stability, right? That's the most important piece that we try to get at. How do we ensure that families are stable, right? Financially stable, mentally stable, like all those pieces of stability despite other barriers, challenges, and systems. So I love the work that y'all are doing, especially regarding the child support piece, because like you said, they will report it negatively.
Right.
Like any other bill, right? You ain't paying that rent on time, it's going to hit as negatively on your credit. But when you make all those payments, they're not quick to throw those on your credit report. So I commend you for doing that work. So that's again one hat that you wear. What do you like to do for like fun? Like what hobbies do you have?
So right now I'm revamping Samika, right?
Okay.
I'm trying to learn who Samika is again because as I mentioned, my children are older.
Yeah.
Right? So at one time I was the soccer mom, football mom, cross country mom, basketball mom, you know what I'm saying? So every aspect of my spare time was around them. So now I'm trying to figure out who I am, what I am. So I've been indulging more into my faith.
Yeah.
Trying to really focusing on God's face, seeing who God is to me and who I am to Him.
Right.
So a lot of time I'm in worship.
Right.
If not, I'm trying to better me. So I'm thinking of the next master plan. Right.
Thinking of that book.
Okay, listen, that's in the making. Right. One of the other things I have been indulging in is I want to start a child care center. So for the last 2 years, I've been learning what that looks like, what that is. Sammy's Village Child Development Center is coming soon.
Okay, speak
So
it.
I've been working on that. Just again, I'm just here to pour into others.
Right.
And so that's what I get out. That's like my hobby, literally, is pouring into others, you know. But in the free time, I didn't scale back on some things. So I love to dance, though.
Okay.
So I love
like line dancing. Like what are we talking about here?
I could just sit there
you
and
got your
two-step.
boots on the ground?
Look,
She said I can sit there and see. Facts.
Boots on the ground. I'm still learning those. All of a sudden, like it's like my feet ain't working right. And I did ballroom dancing and you know all that. And all of a sudden now they coming with these new line dances, and I feel like my feet is walking in cursive.
Well, you know the Chris Brown dance that.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah, well he got a dance out there. It's going completely viral. It's the It Depends challenge. Yeah,
Yeah, and I didn't see. That's what I'm saying though too. My kids, they don't help me with these things. I'm like, can y'all help me do a TikTok?
That's one thing about our kids. Like they catch on so fast. Like I think that's the beauty in its design, but also it can be challenging. And speaking of that, like what lessons have you learned from like parenthood that you're willing to share with a lot of us, parents? Because like you said, your kids are older. Most of our viewers, their kids are probably getting to the age of 23s, 24s, or they probably, currently have that. So drop some gems on parenting. Like what have you been learning?
The main thing I have learned and I'm still learning is listening. We have to listen to our babies. They do have a voice.
Yeah.
They have a voice. We make so many decisions about them without them, and it's not fair to them.
Hold on. You just can you go back? You say we make. I need you to look in the camera and tell them what do we do as parents again?
We make so many decisions about them without them, and if it affects them, so why am I making at least get their input on how it would make them feel or how do they see it there, because their point of view is different from ours. Yeah. And like I said, I'm an 80s baby. I'm so old school. Like my kids be like my daughter, she would look like they can't cuss in front of me. They can't do a lot of things in front of you. Like I don't care how grown you get.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're still a child to me.
Right.
Yeah. And so I don't do disrespect on any level. I don't care how old you are with anybody. I'm one of the ones, if I see your child out there doing something, guess what I'm gonna do? excuse me, like, and then
Ooh.
now go get your mama.
Yeah, come. Well,
Go get your
make
daddy.
sure you do that with my son because you might see him at a school or something. Just get him in line.
And that's what I'm gonna do. It's because it's all about love. Because we say that our children are the future, but our children are the present. They are a gift from God. They are a present to us.
Yeah.
So we have to pour into them. So one of the things, like I say, is listening to them,
Yeah.
understanding where they're coming from. And then that way too, you can understand. Because at first I didn't understand clock that T. Now I'm clocking that T.
I'm trying this finger. I don't know.
Look, I do them all. I
Okay,
be,
yeah, we right. You ain't even gonna think about look. Just clock that thing.
just clock it. When they was running around here talking about you capping, what is
Oh
that?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's true.
I even got on my husband. I said, "You too old to be talking like that." Like, they
He be saying
capping,
you
babe.
capping
Like,
right. Hey.
really, dude, you 40, 44 to be exact. No. And so, but I understood though too, because I grew up with certain words we couldn't say. It was
Yeah,
considered cuss word. So we couldn't say you lying. You know what I'm saying? So okay, the
yeah,
kids say you capping.
that's
We
true.
couldn't say it. So that's what they came up with, right?
That's true.
But
Yeah.
understanding them, understanding the children, understanding the youth, because again, we making all these decisions, and 20 years down the line, they're going to be the ones in our shoes. So we have to
Right.
pour into them, see what that it is that they like. My son, he college wasn't for him. He said he wanted to be a builder. Of course, I kept pushing college because he was good at football. Go play football,
Right. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he like, no, I want to be a builder. You know what I'm saying? So a builder is just a licensed certificate. Like, you don't have to go to college for that.
That's
He could
true.
go to
Yeah.
Lowe's for real, and take some of their classes.
You right. Yeah. You right.
But if I didn't sit and listen to him and understood what he wanted to do, I would have been one of them parents just pushing my child off to college. College ain't for everybody.
Yeah.
And we have to learn that as parents as well. Other things we have to learn too is that we went through it, so our kids didn't have to go through it, but sometimes they need to go through some of those things so they could learn, because we are who we are because of what we went through.
Woo. Okay. I see. When we do these podcasts, there's no like predetermined questions, so I never know what people are going to say. But you coming in with some, you ready? All right. Keep it going. Yeah, keep it going.
Listen here. It's just that like I said, I have a lot of lived experience. I sometimes, like I tell my kids, I can't help it that my grandmother is the one who mostly poured into me, so I do have that old school in me.
Yep.
But because I am a millennial as well, like, we in the middle. So we like over here with the Gen Zs, then we over here with the baby boom. We like,
Facts.
and then it's a whole group of us. It's like it's a lot more of us than anyone else.
Yep.
So at the same time, I'm old, but I'm not old. The only thing get old is clothes, and even them come back in style.
They do.
Okay.
You right on that.
So,
Them bottoms.
okay.
So real quick, so you mentioned something that I think is like a consistent theme in like parenting is that listening factor. Like when we say that, like what as parents are we listening for, and then how do we become better listeners as parents?
Well, I'll start with becoming a better listener. No judgment. They recently had this thing, and I say social media is a blessing and a curse.
Yeah.
But you learn some things from it. They was like this, but this is no judgment. They had
Oh,
that little,
yeah.
I don't know if you remember, like on TikTok.
Yeah.
They're
listen, but we don't
we don't judge
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
right?
yeah. That's
So
good. That's good.
you are that's true with our children and with anyone, for real, for real.
Yeah.
You listen, but don't judge, because you don't know what someone been through. You don't know what they're going through.
Right.
Mental health is real,
Yeah.
and coming from a community, coming from a family where it's big, it's really real in my family, but it was also something we didn't talk about. Like, we have to, in order to for our babies to thrive and grow, sometimes you have to sit and listen, and that's all it takes, even with the mental health aspect of things.
Right.
If you go to a therapist, they just doing what? listening to you while you talk.
That's
And
true.
then when they listen to you, they listen for cute things or little things where they could
Right.
come back and give you a gem or drop something to you. Say, hey, okay, well, maybe we need to do X, Y, and Z instead of A, B, C,
Right.
you
Right.
know?
Right.
And so that's all it takes, even with us parents. We can't, our children didn't go through what we went through.
Right.
They're going this right now is a different time frame.
Yeah.
So we have to listen and don't judge, and also ask them what it is then that you want to do. How do you see us fixing this, or what's the solution you
Yeah.
have? And maybe we come with my solution and your solution. We meet somewhere in the middle. We just so quick to say, oh, because we're the parent, we know
Right.
better,
Right. Right.
but we
Yeah.
don't neither.
That's
It's a
yeah.
learning. It's a
Hey.
learning curve for all of
Cause
us.
I've been looking for the book on perfect parenting. I ain't found it yet.
Like, listen, when you find it, you let me know.
But no, that's key because I think in their ability to practice communication, problem solving, all those things, like the household should be a safe space where that happens,
Right.
right? Because some could argue it happens at school, it doesn't happen at school, but your kids technically, like, that's training ground. The
It
household is the
is.
training ground. So with the 11 that I have, it'd be all yeah, we'd be World War III, 4, 5, but at the same time, it is training ground because, like you just said, it's not just listening to your kids. Like, that's a skill you should do with other people
Others.
too,
That's right.
right? The judging part, I will say that is a gray and up for debate area with people because they're like everybody just whatever the case is. But I think the key is you try not to treat people or respond to people quickly based off what they're saying.
Right.
Right. Take time to listen, process, and ask questions. I think that's the most important piece. Asking them questions, question after question after question, to help them, feel comfortable
Right.
talking about their feelings. Because on one hand, we usually say this generation, they're so disconnected, they don't want to talk. But also, when they start to talk, you disregard them,
Right.
right?
That's it.
So I think that's like an important thing. So if you are listening and that is something that you are either trying to learn with or struggle with, I think Samika said it best. Like, try not to judge them. Take a couple steps back. Patience. I just posted that today. Be more patient. And I know that's tough. Like, I
Big
know.
time.
Ooh, that's tough. But in the spirit of being patient, we ain't gonna be patient today. We gonna push into one of the things that you have found as your purpose, which is community. Like, you champion community. I see you in the community all the time. What allows you and keeps you like that engaged with community?
I'm gonna go back to my word. Galatians 6:9 says, "Do not get weary in well doing." I know that I am planting seeds.
Right.
Now, it could be on unfertile ground. It could be on fertile ground. I done seen a rose grow through the concrete. So long as we plant that seed, somebody else will come and water it. God's gonna make it grow, right? And again, it's about being that person that I didn't have.
Yeah.
So now, like I say, I have this extra time now to pour now into my community, because my community is again, it's gonna be for my babies 20
Right.
years from now. So I'm trying to not better it for myself, but for these babies, and all of them are my babies, right? So I also
Right.
used to be a football director at one time, and
Okay.
all of them was my kids.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, your babies are my babies, so I got 11 more with your
You
babies.
you
You
can
know what I'm
have them.
saying?
Hey, we got this recorded. You can have that. When you just you got a
I'm
bonus
for
for
some
it. Let's
child
add
support
that.
now.
Oh my! Did y'all hear? But no, that's real. So the other question, she said, "I'll go." Please, I just got off, y'all. But the other thing I was gonna say, like, what challenges do you experience in community? Because we all do this work, we have fun, but then there's that other side that typically we don't talk about, which is like either the dark side or challenges. Speak a little bit into like what are some of the challenges of being
Ooh
community
wee,
oriented,
ooh wee, hunty.
and be real, like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Tell us.
Listen, I don't know no other way, honey. Listen, I'm a straight shooter, straight from the hip. But the
That's real.
biggest challenge that I face in community is the pushback from community, right?
Yeah.
So I could I I could walk through a grocery store, and some people have seen me on in community, or seen me on the news or whatever the case may be, and they'll stop and they'll ask me questions and they'll want assistance and they'll need assistance.
Yeah.
And again, me being who I am, I'm gonna point you to the right direction, right? But after I get you there, you just stop at the door. That bothers me because, again, like I tell people, even with us in community. Okay, for instance, I'm gonna go this route with it. I had a young man come to me, tell me that he got pulled over one time from an officer, and officer was just just bad officer, right?
Yeah.
So I said, okay, what you need to do is go to the Office of Public Accountability and make a report, right? But we have been programmed not to quote unquote snitch. So we don't even, when it's something about us or somebody doing us wrong, we won't go and report it, right? So if again, the system, they look at it as, if it's not broke, why fix it? Because you haven't reported it, now they're not going to do anything about that, right? So guess what? Now he's going to pull over someone else, and now he's going to do someone else just as bad as he did you. Well, we have to start reporting these things. Same with community, with anything else. If you go down to the child support office and it's a situation and you feel like you were done wrong, report it. But also you have to continue to make those steps. Now, if I bring you to the water, I can't drink it for you.
Yeah, that's
I
real.
can't make you drink it either.
Yeah,
But here go the water. If you thirsty, baby, guess what? You got to quench your own thirst, right? So if I'm bringing you these tools, these resources, you have to utilize them, right? If not, they're going to take them back from our community because, one, they're not being utilized. So again, they figure we don't need it. But we have made poverty, we have made just being in the gutter, being from the hood, we made all this look so good and so glamorized that that's what everybody is like. That's what they feed off of. You know, even I had to tell my daughter, because she told me, oh, you want everything top notch, baby, because listen, I came from nothing. You got to understand, I came from nothing. So I'm trying to understand my community and why they like being, not everyone, but some individuals like being dormant. Like we have to grow. And in order to grow, I'm here to help you grow. I'm here to be your support. I'll walk with you to doctor's appointments. I done took some ladies to appointments and sat there with them. And then after I done help fill out applications, I do all of that. But again, you have to take those next steps. Sometimes all I could do is get you to the door. You have to walk through it. Right. And community don't do that. And that's that's really the only issue I have. Other than that, it's great. I love doing what I'm doing. And it's not going to stop me though either, because as I just was telling Dallas the other day, sometimes even if we just touch that one person,
that's it.
Because it's about word of mouth. Now that one person go tell 10 other people. So if I just touch that one person, I did what I needed to do, right? And so now that one person, then it's a domino effect. But now my issue, like I say, my biggest issue is community engaging and community following through. The follow through.
That follow through is huge. I work for an organization, Better, Wiser, Stronger, and I had the founder, Henry Sapp, on here. I think he was like my first or second episode when I started my new season. He was trying to have a message to the parents to say, like, we provide all these programs and we can't go in and snatch your kids out of the household. Right. We need you to do a couple things, share information, communicate, and things like that to get your kids in the door. So I agree, like that follow up and follow through is huge. And it's something like we've learned ourselves too, right? I think the thing that keeps us in community work is like, we know what it feels like.
That part.
We're here. It's not like we're in this, other space, because that's usually the complaint. They don't understand us. They don't know what it was like. It's like, no, we still know what it's like. We take our kids to those programs. They get free backpacks. Like,
okay.
So at the same
time, still standing in line. Look.
We are trying to, continue to walk the walk, but we've we began to see the power in follow up and follow through, communication, relationship building, trust. I was on the stage again the other day talking about how do we help our communities heal, right? I was like, we have to start to think in the terms of trust. How do we um, gain trust both ways? You know, two-way street.
Right.
How do we trust community to show up and follow up? But how can community trust us to do the same? I will say that I have seen it grow. I've seen
Yes.
it progress. Like you said, I never forget. I used to have workshops, free workshops, 0 people. Marketing will
Trust me.
feed you. We'll do everything that I
Child
can,
care.
everything we can afford to do within our capacity. We will do, and 0 people will show up. Even taking like passing out surveys and saying when is the best time. You
Right.
know, how long should we have it? What topics should we cover? And then we seen that one, like you said, and we started to see two, and we've been seeing more. And now we're serving, 350 kids during the summer through summer camp. So it's things like that that it's a a journey and it's a progression. But I commend individuals like yourself and all the other community advocates. I mean, it's a whole list of names, but
Yes.
they'll be on the podcast because we're bringing them.
Coming
But for the
soon.
work that they're doing, because they're essentially saying like we believe in our community, like we believe that this community we can lift each other up,
Right.
right? We can support each other and we can create a sustainable neighborhood and community that we deserve. So that's super dope. Okay, so as you've gone across your journey, um, being here in Grand Rapids, like what have you seen from Grand Rapids that you're you know kind of excited and thankful for? But what are some of the challenges that you still see in Grand Rapids?
So I call myself an implant because
Mm-hmm.
I'm not from Grand Rapids, right?
Right.
I'm from Ben Harbor. Um, One thing I'm excited I have seen that I'm excited about is the I guess it's a double-edged sword because it's the same thing that I'm not excited about, right?
Yeah.
And but that's that embracing others, embracing
Mm-hmm.
individuals within the community, embracing implants to come into their community and to help it thrive and grow. But at the same time, I have also seen that individuals who's from this community kind of push back at the same time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
That's true.
that's where we got to have that consistency though and building that trust.
Yeah.
So I had, like I said, I've been back here in Grand Rapids now for 19 years. I've been in the community or nonprofit sector now for a little over 7, 8 years,
Okay.
right? So I built that trust.
Right.
Who I am is who I am. Who I say I am is who I say I am. I don't try to put on the mask in front off. I done been called ghetto, and then on one end I done been called bougie, right? So I
So
am
you
who I am.
ghetto bougie.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm
It
bougie
happens.
ghetto,
Uh,
bougie
okay.
ghetto,
Okay.
right?
Right.
But I am who I am, and I'm not going to change who I am.
Right.
The person I am want to see our community thrive and become better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I want to see us get what is for us. Again, the system may not be made for us, but there are things out there that we could still get from that system that's not made for us, right?
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, long as we learn how to play that game and learn the rules, it's
That's the
things
key.
out there for us too. Just because like I said, I had those parents. I came from the hood. Things like that don't mean I have to stay there and I have to stay dormant.
Right. Right.
If I see something I want better, then I should be able to get better. This community, I've seen that they will rally around one another,
Right.
you know. But again, it's based on that trust. If they don't know you or they don't know who you are, they will kind of shine you like,
Yeah.
you
That's
know.
true.
So I have seen that we have to stay just again staying consistent. And when
Mm-hmm.
they see that consistency, now they're starting to trust you because they're
Right.
saying,
Right.
okay,
Yeah.
they keep coming back. They keep trying. They
Mm-hmm.
keep pushing. They keep, they're here for our children. They're here for us.
Consistency.
So when they see that, then they latch on, and that's like you say, that one turn to two, that two turn to
Mm-hmm.
four, four turn to eight, and that's how you continue to grow. So a couple of things, like I say, is that sometimes they are reserved because you are an implant, but then you
Right.
get that embrace because My mentor, I call him my mentor. He probably don't even know. I look at him as a mentor. Lionel LeGrand. If he kind of helped me grow to who I am, because he told me one thing one time. He was like, "You not teachable. You not teachable." What you mean I ain't teachable? Now that's a challenge for me, right? So when he told me that, I was like, okay, I have to challenge myself to be better and do better, but not just for me, for this community, because I'm living in this community. This is my community. Even though I'm not, and I rep Ben Harbor all day.
Okay.
I'm
All
from
right.
Benny Ha Ha. Listen,
Is
but
that like the name for it? Is
that's
Benny
what they
Hot?
say,
Oh, okay.
Benny Ha Ha stuff.
Okay.
But I've been here now for 19 years. This
Right.
is all my children know. It's Grand
Yeah.
Rapids. So their dad is from here. So this is them. So again, I'm building for my children, right?
Right.
Not
Right.
necessarily for me. I didn't came through. I didn't been through. I didn't seen. I didn't saw. So now it's to get it better for them.
And it sounds like you're still open to, like, you just shouted out a mentor, because for me personally, I've learned over the last like 10 years or so, like, there are people in my life that have lifted me and said certain things that have like shook me, but it was true.
Yes.
It helped give me that shift. So speaking of, mentors and stuff, who have been some vital people, and like what are some of the things that they've helped you, learn or navigate? And
Um,
shout them out. We shout out on this platform.
Yeah, so like I say, Lionel really been the biggest one.
Okay.
I'd mess with him all the time, tell him I done took his black card and, and all of that. But for real, he's a straight shooter. Um, Also, I believe what God has for you is for you. And
Yeah.
sometimes God send those individuals within your life
Yeah.
to help build you up. Another one is my uncle pastor, Bruce McCoy, well, Bishop Bruce McCoy, because he just got elevated. Him as well. He's been helping me like kind of tone it down a little bit because,
Yeah.
um, I can get a little hood.
Yeah.
I tell them all the time, I ain't ghetto, I'm a little hood. I am a
Yeah.
little
That's
hood.
real. Yeah.
But also because of the community that I serve, the individuals who I serve, I'm
Mm,
not going to stray away from who I am or
yeah.
what molded me being who I am.
Right.
But I do understand that I do have to tone it down sometimes a little
Right.
bit.
Right.
You
Right.
know, I have to be that chameleon. So Bruce McCoy, Lionel LeGrand, even Lakia Jenkins. So I used to work at Link Up.
Mm-hmm.
And Lakia, she's actually one who, well, Lionel told me about the job and referred me, and Lakia brought me on.
Yeah.
And even though Lakia is younger than me, Lakia, one day, again, like you say, they dropped something in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
She dropped something in me and told me, "You in your own way."
Mm.
I said, So I went and played that Leandria song, Deliver Me, over
Hey.
and over and prayed and like, God, how am I in my own way? Help me get out of my way.
Yeah.
And so she was another one, and I just look at you, like I say, even though she's younger than me, um, and probably haven't even been through half of the things that I've been through.
Right.
But just those little gems that they dropped, but they
Right.
also didn't give up on me.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Sometimes individuals they be quick to give up on individuals, and that's why I say that consistency.
Right.
Right? You have to have that consistency. So they didn't give up on me, and I know I was rough around the edge, especially when Lionel and Lakia first met me. I
Yeah.
know I had to been through hell,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's real.
Like, and I even like at that time when I met them, I was homeless, jobless. Uh, I had been divorced from the first husband. I was in an abusive relationship. Kids was running away, doing stuff like I was like literally
Had
at
a
the
lot
lowest
going
I
on.
ever been at. But they seen something in me,
Right.
right? And God utilized them to swoop me up, to help me get back where I needed to be, to get back on the path that He has for me. Because again, what God has for you is for you, no matter what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we look at awards and be like, oh, I didn't get that award. Well, maybe that one for you right then and there.
Yeah.
Just because you wanted it don't mean it's for you. So, and that's what I'm learning as well. So those are the main three people right now. Um,
That's good.
but also my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
I have seen the resilience in my mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know, trauma is trauma though. Sometimes we still have to, and like I say,
Right.
mental health is real. We
Right.
still have to understand, and that's the other thing, just having that understanding of what an individual has been through and giving grace.
Right.
We want grace all the time, but are you willing to give that grace that you want? So I had to realize too that I couldn't just hold a grudge to my parents about what I've been through, but
Yeah.
thank them for what I've been through. Because again, excuse me, who know where I would be at if I would have had parents living in Beverly Hills. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
No. Yeah.
Like,
That's
where
real.
would I be right now if I
Right.
really had the quote unquote parents that everybody say that we supposed to have?
Right.
My dad didn't teach me how to ride a bike, but he taught me how to shoot dice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
listen, 6'8" in a minute, baby. Listen, I done came up off of that, but it also taught me what faith was, because I had to have faith that I was getting my number back when I'm shooting dice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I look at things different,
Yeah.
and so by having those parents, those two parents, like my daddy, that was my dog all the way up until like, you know what I'm saying, to the point where I did my daddy's eulogy, but them mainly them two, but all five of those individuals have poured into me to help me become. And I can't say without my husband. I've been with this man off and on since I was 13, and he teach me something about me all the time.
Wow.
So him as well. So yeah.
So shout out to all the mentors. If y'all have mentors and people out there, I think one thing that I remember I did, this was probably like a year ago, so I need to do this again. I started reaching out to my mentors, no matter when they impacted my life, all the way to my college professor, who again, when I was a junior, helped me better understand finances. Right? I just reached out to him, was like, "Thank you." Right? Because at the same time, we never know what they're going through, but that could be a cup filler for them. Because the dope part, as we look at, things coming full circle, the way in which they treated you, you're treating the community.
Right.
Right? You're pouring back into the community, you're being patient, you're seeing the community as at potential instead of at risk. And I think we need to we need to shift more to that. And then I think the other thing that I got from you, and this has always been me, like this work don't come with trophies.
Oh, at all.
Like, Drake, he stole my line. Actually, he stole my line. But that's what I say all the time. Like, this don't come with trophies. If I was doing this based on, like, the trophies and the awards and all that, then I wouldn't be doing this work in this community. I do this work because I felt the impact of people doing work, like, for me, with me, like, on me, that helped me get to this point, which I'm trickling that down to my kids, and we trying to be the last generation to start from scratch.
Right.
So as we start to wrap this up, because I think you've dropped a lot of gems, and we got to bring you back on. I got a whole list of people I'm bringing back on, so we're going to do like a recap or something of bringing people on.
Rewind.
Yeah, rewind. There we go, rewind. Like, I always end it with our Let's Talk Money cards, right? These cards were created to normalize having fun conversations about finances in the family, because we don't talk about it enough.
Right.
So what I like to do is I'll mix them up. You just pull one, hand it to me. I'll read it to you. And then you just, answer the question. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Let's talk
I'm
Money.
ready.
Yeah, Let's Talk Money right
Oh,
there. All right. Yeah, you good.
Okay.
All righty.
We're going to go with this one.
And then you can hand it to me, and I'm going to read this bad boy. Ooh. What companies should you invest in, and why? That's pretty good.
Yeah. One company I believe we should all invest in, and that's Nike. Because for some reason, all of us have Nike. Like, exactly. Why not own a piece of that, right? Another one, well, this is not if you don't have it, but yourself. You have to invest in you. Like,
Facts.
and build you up. So
Yeah.
that way others are investing in you as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Nike and Amazon is the big two that I tell. I've been pushing my kids, and I also have shares in both of those.
So I love that because people are always asking that question. Like, I want to start investing. Where do I'm like, you invest in the things you eat, buy, or other people are eating, buying, select.
That's
Like,
it.
it's just a cycle because profit is going in there, and you just want to, you know, you want to be a part of
Return
that
on
that
your money.
ownership, right?
Right.
And then more importantly, again, you rocking those things. Your kids are right. Like, start there because you're kind of building this indirect relationship with them already. You have this loyalty to that brand, so you might as well own it and then own a piece of it and continue to allow your money to grow. It's like getting a discount. So
Right.
that's super important. And then I think you mentioned the other piece that people aren't willing to talk about, right? You're a brand, you're a company, you're all these pieces. Invest in yourself. It doesn't always have to be financially. You could invest in your self development, your mental health, all those other pieces. So I love that other
Yes.
gem too. So in the final conclusion of this amazing episode that we'll be posting soon, I always allow our guests to ask me one question. You can ask me one question. It can be anything, but at the same time, if I'm like, look, Samika, I ain't answering that. I ain't gonna answer. But I've never avoided a question yet. What you want to ask?
I don't even know.
Okay.
Are you done having children?
Oh my God. Hey. Hey, my nephew in the back talking about that's good.
Good.
Hey. So we'll see. But we want to conclude the podcast because this has been an amazing podcast today. Samika, she is the community advocate, the community liaison. She is real. She's authentic. She has a story. Please, please, please check out this story because there are some times where we see people in community, we see them on TV and all that other things, and then we make up this narrative, right? We're like, oh, this person been through. This ain't made up. Listen to this story. There are a lot of overlaps in a lot of things and lived experiences that we have in this community. That's why we're still here, right? But at the same time, we have visions, we have things that we want to do for community and with community. So first thing you should do is check us out, you know? And then we see her, be like, look, Samika, finish your book so that we can read that. And if you haven't finished it, start a book, you know? But more importantly, I want to thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
Not a problem. Like, you have been exactly what we need on these type of platforms. Somebody who's real, raw, and willing to just share themselves, but also trusting us to do the same. So with that being said, make sure y'all watch, share, subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.